History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. From the fall of the Roman Empire to the struggles of modern America, great powers have risen and fallen for reasons that feel strangely familiar. China, however, has a chance to break this pattern, to learn, adapt and create its own path forward. But to do that, it must first navigate some major challenges. Take Rome, for example. By the 3rd century, the empire was running out of money to fund wars and keep its huge bureaucracy running. So they came up with a quick fix: dilute the silver in their coins. It worked, temporarily. But inflation took off, trust in the economy collapsed, and the empire's foundations began to crumble. Fast forward to Japan in the 1990s. After years of rapid growth, its real estate and stock market bubbles burst. Over-reliance on debt-driven investments, combined with an aging population and weak consumption, trapped Japan in what we now call the lost decades. So where does China stand today? There are echoes of these stories. Local governments have borrowed heavily, relying on land sales and infrastructure projects to drive growth. But as the real estate market cools, this strategy is starting to crack. The question is, can China use its unique tools, like centralized control and a massive domestic market, to turn things around before the debt burden becomes unsustainable? But debt isn't the only challenge. Inequality is another lesson from history. In Rome's later years, wealth was concentrated in the hands of a few, while the majority struggled to get by. This imbalance tore apart the social fabric. Today, even global powers like the United States are feeling the strain of growing inequality. The wealthiest 1% own more than the bottom 50%, fueling economic and social tensions. China has made huge progress in reducing poverty, but new gaps are forming. Urban-rural divides, regional disparities and concentrated wealth in industries like tech are growing. Here's the bigger question: can young people today still believe in a better future? If social mobility disappears, trust in the system will erode, and without trust, no economy can thrive. Now, let's talk about real estate. In 2008, the collapse of the US housing market triggered a global financial crisis. The issue? Too much reliance on real estate and risky financial products. In China, the story is different, but the risks are just as real. Companies like Evergrande are drowning in debt, and younger generations are starting to rethink home ownership. This isn't just about housing, it's about how an entire generation is rethinking priorities. And that shift could reshape the economy in profound ways. But history isn't all doom and gloom. It also shows us that crises can lead to transformation. After World War II, Germany rebuilt itself by focusing on high-quality manufacturing and social stability. In the 1990s, South Korea turned a financial crisis into an opportunity to become a tech powerhouse. These stories show us the power of adaptability and long-term planning. China is already leading in areas like AI, 5G and green energy. But turning these breakthroughs into widespread economic benefits is the real challenge. With an aging population and fewer young workers, innovation will have to make up for demographic challenges. It's not just about creating technology, it's about ensuring it benefits everyone. Finally, let's not forget the global stage. The era of globalization that fueled China's rise is shifting. Trade tensions and supply chain changes are forcing countries to rethink their strategies. For China, this could be an opportunity. By focusing on its dual circulation strategy, boosting domestic demand while staying connected globally, China can redefine its role in the world economy. But the key is building confidence at home. Will the middle class feel secure enough to spend and invest? The answer will shape the next phase of growth. History is a guide, not a script. Rome fell, Japan stagnated, and America is facing its own challenges. But China's story isn't finished yet. Its ability to adapt, innovate and rebuild trust will decide if it becomes a cautionary tale or a success story. As Mark Twain said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. The question is, what kind of rhyme will China create?